Go, there you go. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome, Aubrey. So good to see you. Roselle, good to see you as well. And who else? We got Tim. We were on a call earlier. Good to see you again. Egon, so good to see you also. David, got your message earlier. I replied back to you. So awesome having a call with you on Monday. So nice catching up. So welcome to the call from the UK. We got David from the UK. Welcome as well. Give everybody a minute or two to hop on. Don't know where you are in the world, but let me tell you, it's a little bit chilly and raining up here in Joburg. My goodness gracious, it is bucketing down. It shouldn't be bucketing at this time of year. So very strange how the seasons are changing around the world. Very, very strange. But yeah, a bit of lightning out there. So if you see any sort of like flashes here, it's not taking photos. It's just the lightning coming through, just in case you wonder. All right. So anybody that's on tonight, make sure you stay to the end. We've got a special surprise guest, Carol from Mossel Bay, which will be sharing her testimony at the end for a minute or two. A rock star down in Mossel Bay, knocking it out the ballpark. Carol said she was going to be a bit nervous, but I know she won't be nervous. All right. It's just after 8, so I think let's jump straight in. Give me 1 minute. Right, there we go. And I just want to spotlight this pin. There we go. Change the view to gallery. There we go. Right, perfect. Let me open this. Show sound. Uh, okay, right. We're going to start in literally 30 seconds. Just getting everything sorted out on this side. There we are. Right, perfect. There we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Chris, and I'm dialing in from Johannesburg. And welcome to tonight's call on the 5th of April. No, not April, May. Oh, my word. I'm missing out a whole month here. 5th of May, 2026. So, yeah, welcome to tonight's call. And I just want to ask everybody a very simple question. You on this call this evening, somebody invited you to be here. Why are you here this evening on this call? Maybe would like to improve my well-being. I'm looking for an additional income, maybe. I'd like to be part of a community. I'm into wellness, perhaps. I love direct sales, and maybe your friend dragged you along here this evening. So before I jump into the presentation, like I said, my name is Chris. I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. And how did I get to be on this call this evening? Myself, my wife, Lucinda, we've been part of Lifeway for 3.5 years now. And very quickly, a little bit about my history. I come from the children's toy industry background. I had my own children's toy company for just on 12 years. And I was building my company up, selling my product to over 30 countries around the world at a global company. And then COVID kicked in. And I watched my company close doors right in front of my eyes. And I don't care how strong-minded you are, how positive thinking you are. If you've been working on something for 12 years and you watch it close down, you're going to hit a tad bit of depression. And I found myself falling into a bit of a spiral, going downhill, not knowing what to do with my life, running out of money, anxiety kicked in, depression, brain fog, burnout, you name it. I was a wreck. And a friend of mine that lives in Spain, his name is George, saw me on a Zoom call 3.5 years ago and said, "You don't look good. I've got something that can help you." He told me about the patches. I thought, what have I got to lose? And I registered. And 5 days later, my life completely changed. My brain fog disappeared. My anxiety disappeared. My outlook towards life changed. Um, but I was in a position where I don't know if anybody knows what it feels like to be financially back against the wall. I didn't know which way to turn. And LifeWave has completely transformed our life from a health point of view and from a financial anxiety. We do not have any more financial anxiety. So we're going to share with you this evening could potentially change the trajectory of your life. So we're talking about a company called LifeWave and specifically a product called X39, which we're going to go through this evening. Because this technology is patented and it's exclusive, it offers a lucrative business plan. So I'm going to play a very quick 2-minute overview clip, and then we'll jump straight into the presentation. Here goes.
In a world searching for answers, one discovery is changing everything. A patch, no bigger than a quarter, built not to treat symptoms, but to wake up the healer inside you. This is X39, a wearable, light-activated patch. Designed by David Schmidt, an inventor with over 200 patents. His mission? To reverse aging naturally. This isn't science fiction. It's stem cell activation without injections, without pills. Your body repairing itself. The results? Life-changing energy, recovery, sleep, relief. And the medical world? It's taking notice. Still skeptical? Visit thisisitinfo.com. You'll find the studies, the patents, the proof. It's all there. But there's more. This tiny patch isn't just transforming lives, it's creating freedom. Because behind it is a business model built for the bold. Real people, real results. Income that scales with impact. And here's why. Because this breakthrough technology is patented and exclusive, it offers a lucrative business plan that allows you to compound your efforts. More people than ever are struggling in today's economy. You can no longer rely on your own sweat equity alone to make a living. This business model allows you to duplicate yourself and, even better, to benefit from other people's efforts. So your income no longer depends solely on you. By duplicating yourself over and over, the income potential is far greater than a conventional job, career, or profession. And you're never alone. The This Is It system gives you the tools, the path, the team. All you have to do is start. The question is no longer if it works, it's whether you'll act or let this moment pass. Will you keep waiting or finally feel your body come alive again? Will you stay financially stuck or build something that lasts? Isn't it time to start living life on your own terms? This is it.
How would you like to live life on your own terms? Do what you want, when you want, how you want, not answering to anybody. Have more time freedom, have more choices. But what I want to ask is, what do you currently do to create an income? Are you maybe perhaps retired? Are you working for a boss? Professional, maybe a doctor or lawyer? Maybe you're self-employed, a professional sports person. But whatever we do in life, we're always trading time for money. And what I want to ask you is, do you honestly earn what you are worth? Do you ever feel stuck? Maybe stuck on the wheel like this little hamster? Maybe feel like you're running on the hamster wheel, or maybe you're stuck in traffic. How many hours a day do you spend behind the wheel, stuck in traffic? Let's talk about the hamster wheel. Work, earn, spend, repeat. Work, earn, spend, repeat. Anybody know that feeling? And if you stop running on that wheel, your income stops. If your income had to stop tomorrow, how many months would you be able to survive? Let's talk about inflation for a moment. Inflation is called the silent killer. In today's economy, I don't know about you guys, when you walk into the shops, every month it just looks like the prices are just going up and up and up. Your costs are rising faster than your income. This is what inflation is. They say that inflation is sitting at about 4%. I don't know if I can believe that one. When I go into the shops, I can see the difference in a year. I'm going to give you a very simple example. Anybody that knows me, a very important part of my life is coffee. Coffee is very important. This is my coffee of choice. It's called Illy. A year ago, I'm going to be talking about South African Rand figures. A year ago on the shelf, this can of coffee was 100 Rand. It's now selling on the shelves for 200 Rand. It's gone up double in price in 1 year. Another example, no, I'm getting a bit personal here. This is my deodorant. We've all heard of Old Spice, called me old fashioned, but you know what? Love the smell and it lasts for 24 hours. This was selling on the shelves in South Africa. We've got two outlets called Clicks and Discount, and it was on the shelves for 49.95. It's basically 50 Rand a year ago. Right now on the shelves is selling for 104 Rand 95, 105 Rand. That means that this has gone up by 105% in only 1 year. So let's work more on a realistic inflation figure of 16%. But what I want to ask you is, has your income gone up by 6%? A lot of people's incomes are only going up at the moment by 5% a year. So that means that you are 11% behind, which means that you're actually going backwards. Let's talk about the retirement myth for a moment here. How much money do you need invested to give you a passive income of $3,000 a month? I'm going to talk about the dollar figures, and then I'll jump straight into the Rand figures. So if you have a look over here, you earn 3,000 Rand a month at a 7% annual return. Now, 7% is a medium to high risk investment. You'd need $514,000 in an investment to give you $3,000 a month. In Rand terms, if you wanted to get a passive income of 50,000 Rand a month at a 7% return, you would need to have 8.5 million Rand invested. I want to ask you, how far are you on your first million? Maybe your second million? Are you halfway there? Or are you maybe nowhere near there? That is a reality. 8.5 million Rand you would have invested to give you 50,000 Rand a month. The problem is this is not inflation protected. So what other incomes have you explored? What have you explored for extra incomes? Have you ever thought of your own business, maybe a restaurant, franchise, maybe a partnership venture? The problem is most of this requires high capital and carries very high risk. In fact, 65% of restaurants fail within the first 18 months. And when you think about opening a restaurant, look at the costs involved. Look at everything you got to set up. Look at the lease that you have to take. Most times you got to take a 3 to 5 year lease. The problem is if you close the restaurant down, the landlords still want their money. There are 4 ways to earn an income in this world. 4 ways. We're going to be talking about a concept called the cash flow quadrant. This is by author Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, #1 New York Times bestseller for many, many, many years. If you're seeing this for the very first time, ESBI, this is called the cash flow quadrant. 4 ways that you can earn an income. The first way, the top left, E, stands for employee. That means that you're working for a company, you're trading time for money. So you work, at the end of the month, you get your salary. You get your maybe 21 days leave per year. You get your lunch break during the day, and you leave work at 5 o'clock because your boss pays you. That is when you're allowed to put in, that's the time that you put in. But the problem is, if you decide you're going to stop working, you just decide tomorrow I'm not going to work for, I don't know, 2 months, and you go back to work and you go back to the boss and say, right, I'm back at work. I don't think the boss is going to be very happy. You might not even have a job. So here you are trading time for money. Then what we do is we decide we're going to fire our boss and we're going to start our own company, and you'll become self-employed. This is where you own your job. Also, no work equals no income. So you're trading time for money. This is what we call active income. We all want to move over to the right side of the cash flow quadrant. to B and R. Now, B stands for business owner. This is where you own a system that works for you, where you've either got employees or you've got a team and a system where if you've got 500 or more employees and you can walk away from your business for 90 days, come back, and your business is still thriving, that means you are a business owner. And ultimately, where everybody wants to get to is R for investor. This is where your income does not depend on your active work. This is when your money works for you, and this is leveraged and passive income. Now, you can shortcut, you can move over to the B side of the cash flow quadrant very easy through network marketing. This is a shortcut to the B quadrant. Now, network marketing is the fastest growing industry in the world. In fact, it's made more millionaires than any other industry in the world. And since 1889, so it's a profession that has been around for 137 years. So we've got leverage plus systems plus duplication equals residual income. If you understood residual income, you would walk through a brick wall to get it. I love the saying by Warren Buffett. He's like the fourth wealthiest man in the world, multi-billionaire. He said, if you don't find a way to make money while you're sleeping, you will work until the day you die. I'm going to play a very quick video clip by Eric Worre, a seven-figure income earner in the network marketing industry. And he speaks to Larry King from Larry King Live. And they have a quick discussion about the network marketing industry. Here goes.
Why do people join these companies? What is the attraction?
You know, I think, Larry, people are ready today more than any other time in history to be their own boss. Technology is wiping out jobs. Technology is wiping out industries. The human value is going down and down and down as technology goes up and up and up. And people are saying, I don't want to fit in some other system anymore. I want to be my own boss, but they don't know how to do it. Do they have a good product? Do they have enough money? You know, do they have the expertise in order to be able to do it? But if there was a way for a person to start their own business without a lot of risk, and they could flex that entrepreneurial muscle, see if they have the chops, they're interested. So it's making a big difference. People are taking that step.
Are you fighting the Amazons of the world, or are you on a parallel line?
Well, Amazon is a unique, as you know, they're taking over the world, right? There's these few companies that are absolutely changing distribution. But what they don't have is word of mouth advertising. They don't have a network of passionate people who believe in the product, sharing it with other people. We provide a really important educational need in the marketplace. We educate people on products that will be valuable to them. We don't really deal with commodities as much. We just deal with products that are valuable that we can help to inform somebody else about.
The advantage of network marketing is the ease of entry, the low risk, and the low startup cost, because almost everything else has very high risk.
You can get in for a minimal investment. You're buying into a system that's already been proven, products or services that have been proven to work.
The keys to network marketing is providing an opportunity for the masses to get involved, providing an opportunity for the average person who doesn't have the resources to start their own business.
People who are like, oh, this is weird, I'm building a sales team, and what do you think you do at a regular company? How do you think a regular company works?
Network marketing is the only industry that doesn't say your past determines your future. It looks at your past and says, okay, now what can we train you to do so you can have a great future? Every other employer out there wants to exploit you for what you already know, not teach you something new.
So let's compare industry value per year. The NFL in the USA, that's a football league, is worth not million, but billion, $16 billion per year. Then let's look at the music industry. We all know the music industry is massive. That industry is worth $22 billion a year. Then the film industry is $137 billion a year. And then the gaming industry is massive. That is worth $156 billion per year. Now look at network marketing. The network marketing industry globally is worth $243 billion per year. That's how huge this industry is. It's an industry where you can earn while you learn. So let's cover the pyramid scheme myth. sure some of you on the call or somebody that might be new, somebody might have said to them, but this is a pyramid scheme. Now, there's a very big difference between network marketing and a pyramid scheme. So let's cover that right off the bat now. Pyramid schemes are illegal. They actually don't have a physical product. Now, on the left column, you've got this is a typical corporate structure where if you look at the bottom over here, you've got all the hardworking employees, then you've got the team leaders and supervisors, middle management, the directors, vice president of the company, and then you've got CEO. Now, that is the typical shape of a corporate structure. An employee will never earn more than their boss. Where if we look at network marketing, the picture on the right-hand side, in network marketing, you can outrank and out-earn your sponsor. So what we mean by that is George, he lives in Spain. George signed me up into LifeWave 3.5 years ago. Now, there's been many weeks that I've actually earned more than George. And there's been people that have been in part of our team that have earned more money than us. So this is the most fair structure and level playing field for everybody. So I'm going to play another short video clip by Robert Kiyosaki where he chats to Eric Worre and he talks about the concept of network marketing versus a pyramid scheme.
This pyramid shape, people get really messed up with this pyramid. Oh, it's one of those pyramid things.
So I just think there are a lot of haters out there who really don't understand the industry and say, oh, it's a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a pyramid.
Well, corporate America is a pyramid scheme. You know what I mean? It goes like this. You have thousands of MBAs, let's say working for Ford. If all these MBAs, they're all trying to get to here, that's a pyramid. Only one guy's going to make it. Every 10 years, one's going to make it. Whereas you look at network marketing, it's like this. So you're here, and your job is to develop other CEOs coming up behind you. So it's an inverse pyramid.
It doesn't matter what shape the company is or the compensation plan is shaped, whether it's a circle or a pyramid or a triangle or a trapezoid, it doesn't matter. If compensation is coming primarily from recruitment, then you've got a problem. On the other hand, if an operation is basing their compensation to participants on the basis of sales, even when those sales are generated by people you've recruited, well, then you're a perfectly legitimate enterprise. That's the legal test, it's the practical test.
Another issue that's been true in the past that is no longer true now is people used to be in network marketing loaded up with products that they couldn't sell and they ended up a loser. They ended up with a bunch of product in their garage, they ended up with a bunch of products sitting in their kitchen shelves or whatever, and they thought they could sell it and then they weren't willing to or able to sell it and they ended up with a bunch of stuff and they were bitter about it.
There was this thing called front loading where you had to buy if you bought $25,000 worth of product, you got better commissions and all this. Today, it's almost all done by computer. It's direct mail, comes from a warehouse somewhere else. You don't have to have all this inventory. You don't have to stock up. Most of it's done online. You have a back office. It really works. And the technology has changed everything.
So for this to work, you've got to believe in 4 things. You've got to believe in the product. You've got to believe in the company. You've got to believe in yourself. And lastly, you've got to believe in the industry, which we've just covered quite a bit now. But let's talk very quickly about the company and the product. So the company LifeWave was founded in 2004. So we're talking about a 21-year-old company opening in 87 countries around the world. So you might be thinking, well, if this company is 21 years old, why have I not heard about this before? It was only until the launch of X39. This is the baby that has put LifeWave on the map. LifeWave was launched in 2019, and we'll remember what happened in 2019 and 2020. We were all under lockdown. So even while the world was under lockdown, LifeWave still did $20 million turnover. But look what happened in 2022 when the world came out of lockdown. LifeWave jumped right up to $320 million. In 2024, $600 million, and projects to do $1 billion in 2026. LifeWave had a growth rate of 3,000% in the last 5 years. Now, a lot of companies after COVID either closed doors or have either downsized. I don't know if you know many companies out there after COVID that have grown by 3,000% in the last 5 years. That is just because of the product that we have and the difference that this product is making in people's lives. In fact, LifeWave is now the fastest growing direct sales company in the world. I mentioned earlier on that we're talking about a patented product. So LifeWave doesn't have one, doesn't have 10, doesn't have 100. LifeWave has got over 200 patents protecting the product. Now, very quickly on a patent, there's two very important things. The first thing about a patent is if a company wants to patent a product, you want to hand in the clinical trials, case studies, you name it, and the product and external testing needs to get done. And then they come back and say, yes, the product does do what the company says the product does. Only by law, you may get issued a patent. That just gives even more validation on what this product is doing. The other difference, when we're talking from a business point of view, it means we've got no competition. Now, in the network marketing industry, there are a lot of very good companies out there, a lot of very good products. But the problem is you're always competing. In other words, my pill is better than your pill, or my powder is better than your powder. So there's always a tug of war where LifeWave is in a league of its own because we have no competition. Also, end of last year, LifeWave won the Stem Cell Innovation of the Year Biotech Breakthrough Award. Now, this was out of thousands of nominations from over 15 countries around the world, and LifeWave was the only company that won this award, the most significant award to date that LifeWave has received. In fact, LifeWave is also now ranked the #1 company in momentum in the network marketing industry. So I'm going to play a very quick video clip showing the manufacturing plant in Galway in Ireland. Now, up until about a year ago, LifeWave had the capacity to produce $1 billion worth of product. 6 months ago, they've just doubled the size of this manufacturing plant, geared to do $2 billion, and another factory that's busy getting finalized in San Diego in California. So LifeWave is ready for a capacity of $4 billion. This is what the factory looks like. And the genius. That's the one word that I have for this man, David Schmidt, the genius, founder and CEO of LifeWave. He's a scientist. He's an inventor. In fact, he comes from a family of scientists and inventors, holder of over 200 issued patents, as I mentioned earlier. And he specializes in phototherapy and age reversing. In 2008, David focused all of his attention on stem cell research. Now, the X39 patch, which is the flagship product, this X39 took 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to the marketplace. I'm going to play another video clip by David Schmidt himself, where he had an interview with Stephen G. Merritt, where he explains why he decided to put LifeWave into the network marketing channel.
When I started LifeWave and was doing an evaluation of how to market this, I was thinking about radio and TV. I approached GNC, who wanted to market the product, looked at infomercials and talked to companies about doing that. We did some testing. And I had an experience where a fellow that was a business friend introduced me to somebody. We had a business lunch, and then he ran into somebody in a movie theater who was interested in investing in LifeWave. I met with that guy, and then he introduced me to a medical doctor who introduced me to another medical doctor who was friends with Coach Richard Quick at Stanford University. So in about a 3-week period of time, I went from sitting at a lunch in Buford to being out at Stanford University putting patches on Olympic swimmers with Richard Quick, a 6-time US Olympic coach. And when I really thought about that, I said, this would never have happened with the product sitting on the shelf at GNC. Would never happen. Yeah. This is all networking. I need to go back and reevaluate this. And so in July of 2004, I flew out to California. I was invited there by Coach Quick to see the Olympic trials. And when I landed, he said, well, we have an issue. The Olympic Committee thinks that there's drugs in these patches, and they want you to, explain what the technology is. So I met with this fellow, Dr. Scott Rodeo, explained what the patches were. They took them down to UCLA Microanalytical Lab, validated, there were only natural materials in the patches, and we were vindicated. But over 1,000 people contacted me wanting to buy the product and be a distributor for this new technology. And I was like, okay, the alarm bells went off. Clearly, what God is telling me, this is supposed to be a network marketing company. And 3 months later, on November 10th of 2004, we started sales. We did $500,000 in business our very first month. So it was a very, very clear sign this was where our home was supposed to be.
That's where the journey started in 2004. So it's 3 things that everybody's looking for in life. We're looking for health freedom, and that we have ticked off already with this amazing product that we have in our hands. People are looking for financial freedom, but most importantly, everybody's looking for time freedom. In fact, time freedom is the new wealth, to be able to do what you want, when you want, and how you want. Health and wealth look the same and sound the same for a reason, because they are completely intertwined. You cannot have one without the other. In fact, you can be, never mind a multi-millionaire, you can be a multi-billionaire. If you do not have your health, that means absolutely nothing. I want to ask you, what would you do with an extra $1,000? That's equivalent of 17,000 Rand per month. Would that make a difference in your household? Maybe pay off a little bit of debt, maybe pay off your credit cards, go towards the kids' school fees, maybe support your parents, pay off the 2 big things. The biggest expenses that we have in our life is our car and our mortgage. Imagine paying that off and owning your own property or owning your car outright. You have residual bills. Why not have a residual income? If we could share with you the following 12 things that could completely change your life, would you be open to having a proper look? Firstly, how would you like to increase your cash flow in your household immediately? Number 2, how would you like to have no limits on your earnings? Number 3, how would you like to be in business with literally no overheads or risk? Number 4, have all the time freedom you want. Number 5, experience the magic of compounding and leverage. Albert Einstein, he made a comment a while back. He said, compounding is the 8th wonder of the world. Number 6, how would you like to retire financially independent? Number 7, be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. That's what's so beautiful about this industry, is the support system and the support structures that we have in place. We hold your hand every step of the way to help you succeed. That's the beauty of this industry. Number 8, how would you like to be part of an international business with no competition? Number 9, be part of a like-minded and open-minded community. Number 10, how would you like to become part of a recession-proof business? Number 11, this is a big one that many people don't know about. How would you like to pay less tax, legally and ethically? Now, just some of the benefits when you join a network marketing company. How would you like the tax man to legally pay towards your LifeWave business? So if you look at these two columns, you've got expenses on the left and the tax deduction on the right. If you're purchasing product, if you on a two-sleeve auto ship, as an example, anything that you're purchasing for yourself is regarded as a fixed business expense. Extra products that you purchase, these are seen as samples. Clothes that you purchase, excluding underwear. I don't know why. When I spoke to our tax consultant in Cape Town, he said, yes, any clothes you can write off against tax, a self-representation, except underwear. Don't ask me why. Your phone, your data, your Wi-Fi, that is a business expense. Petrol, gas, Uber, train, any type of transportation is travel expenses. You go out for coffee, you go to a restaurant with people, you keep that slip. That is regarded as entertainment. And lastly, your rent, your mortgage, or your bond, you can write off a certain percentage of that as office and workspace. So a consultant accountant or a bookkeeper regarding the tax laws in your country for a home-based business. And then lastly, number 12, how would you like to earn a weekly paycheck in US dollars from 87 countries around the world? So how is LifeWave different? Life-changing opportunities cross a person's path 2, maybe 3 times in their life. So I'm going to quickly summarize it again. 200 patents, which means no competition, open in 87 countries, a product that works, a 21-year-old company, stable and established, projected to do $1 billion in 2026. As I mentioned earlier, the industry is worth $243 billion. The Biotech Stem Cell Innovation Award, Breakthrough Award in 2025. The X39, we are literally at the beginning of the curve. Over 80 clinical trials and case studies, and we ranked #1 in momentum as per businessforhome.org. You can go and research that. And LifeWave is ranked as a AAA opportunity in the industry, which means we are within the top 5% in the industry. So start your LifeWave business today. The industry average payout to its members is 43%. That's the average, where the LifeWave payout to its brand partners is 60%. So you can see quite a big difference there as well. Now, LifeWave has got the most lucrative compensation plan in the industry. So a LifeWave's compensation plan, there's not 1, there's not 3, there's not 5, there are 9 ways to earn an income through LifeWave. I'm not going to go through all 9 of them, but with the LifeWave compensation plan, you get rewarded immediately. You get rewarded for consistency, you get rewarded for leadership, and lastly, you get to earn a sustainable long-term income. So the LifeWave system works on a binary and unilevel hybrid plan. So let me quickly explain what does that mean. Unilevel and hybrid is the best of both worlds. As I said, the industry has been around for 137 years. Binary has only been around for about 23 years. What does binary mean? Binary means 2. Basically, you've got a left leg and you've got a right leg. There are no structure requirements. This works purely on volume. So you can earn between 5, now this is just one of the incomes, is binary. You can earn between 5 to 10% on the volume on your binary pay leg, which is what we call your lesser leg. So when I talk about volume, you might be thinking, what does that mean? 1 sleeve of X39, as an example, is equivalent to 77 volume points. So that's what we mean when we talk about volume. So all you've got to do is duplicate a 2-sleeve auto ship within your structure. As I said, you can earn between 5 to 10% on the volume on your binary pay leg. Now, why be on a 2-sleeve auto ship? Why use the product? You need to be on the product. You need to be a product of the product before you can promote the product. And then lastly, you get paid on the volume. As I mentioned, 1 sleeve of X39 is 77 volume points. This is only for the binary bonus, which is one of the 9 streams of income. So I'm going to give you an example. If you've got 25 people on your left leg and 25 people on your right leg, that works out to 3,000 850 points, which means at 5%, you'd be earning $192 per month. If you've got 50 people on the left, 50 people on the right, that equates to 7,700 points. At 7%, you can be earning $539 per month. Then once you've got 100 people on the left leg, 100 people on the right leg, now it doesn't have to be exactly 100. This is plus minus. So as long as the lesser leg is sitting at that 100 point, 100 people, you could have 120, 150 people on the other leg. That's what we try and ultimately do, is balance our legs. You would have 15,400 points. At 9%, you'd be earning 1,386 points. I don't know if you've noticed something here. If we get to 250, the percentage actually starts to go up, where other network marketing companies, once the volume goes up, the percentages become less. Where with LifeWave, when it goes up, the percentages start to adjust on a higher level, going up to 10%. So if you've got 250 on the left, 250 on the right, you're looking at 38,500 points. At 10%, you'd be earning $3,850 per month. Remember that previous slide where I spoke about what you would have to have in the bank to give you a passive income of $3,000 a month? Here you can get to $3,850 a month, having 250 people on the left and 250 on the right. Once you get to the point where you've got 500 people on the left, 500 people on the right, that gives you a volume of 77,000 points. At 10%, you're earning $7,700 per month. And then I'll stop at this point at 1,000. Once you've got 1,000 people on the left, 1,000 people on the right, you're generating 154,000 points. At 10%, that is $15,400 per month. You might be thinking, oh my word, that is a lot of people. Myself and Lucinda, as I said, we've been part of LifeWave for 3.5 years now, and we've personally introduced 99 people to LifeWave, and those 99 people have in turn turned into over 10,000 people in our organization. So at 99 people, divided that by 3.5 years, that's sharing LifeWave with 2.1 people a month. And this is where we're talking about exponential growth. So the above figures are based upon the following: all the brand partners to be on a 2-sleeve auto ship. These quantities of people are your direct signups and their signups, in other words, the overall team. Now, this income is only for binary bonus, and this is just one of the income streams. So how to get started? It's easy. You choose one of the following kits, enrollment kits. On the left-hand side, $25 wholesale registration fee, plus 1 sleeve of X39, $125 to get started. But the more exciting way to get started is choosing one of the kits. The reason for that is because you end up getting the best value for money. Our entry-level kit is what we call Core. That's this one over here, which is $295. That works out to plus minus 6,000 Rand. So $295, whatever country you're in, you've got to add your VAT or your country tax and obviously delivery. And that gives you 3 sleeves of X39. You can also mix and match the different products in your kit. And there, the wholesale registration fee falls away. That is included in the kit price. Then one of our more popular kits is the advanced kit. That is $535 plus minus 10,000 Rand. And that gives you 6 sleeves of X39. You have the advanced plus, which is $975. That's plus minus 19,000 Rand. Gives you 11 sleeves of X39. And lastly, we have the premium, which is $1,750, which is plus minus 34,000 Rand. This is as low as it costs to start your own business. So network marketing is not about selling products. It's all about the system that creates the income. As I mentioned, in this industry, you've got upline support, daily Zoom presentations, WhatsApp groups, link trees. This is a 10-step system and team trainings. So in closing off, I want to talk about the support system in place and the team, which is so important. This is myself and Lucinda. We are 3-star executives with LifeWave, and we started a team called Team333 in 2022. We have one of the fastest growing teams in South Africa, which has branched off to, I think it's over 20 countries around the world. We have teams growing. We belong to a team called This Is It, which is the fastest growing team in LifeWave globally. LifeWave is our true calling. This is what we've been called to do. So let's talk about This Is a Team, started by Steve and Gina Merritt. Steve and Gina Merritt have been in the network marketing industry for over 2 decades. They've got the fastest growing team in LifeWave. In fact, they've got the fastest growing team in the network marketing industry. This is not just a team, this is a movement. And you can find a lot of information on the website, thisisateam.com. Oh, here it is, duplicated again. This is a new slide that I added in today. 2 websites, 2 purposes, but 1 opportunity. Take a photo of this page. You can go on to thisisateam.com for more information on the business, talks more about the business opportunity, the compensation plan, the tools, the resources, training and support. Everything is there. Your business, your freedom, your future. The website on the right-hand side, this is for more information on the product. This is at info.com. Experience the power of X39. It talks about the X39, how it works, the benefits, the science, the research, the patents, frequently asked questions. Everything is there. So there's the information on the product and on the business side. A very quick disclaimer as we're finishing off. LifeWave makes no promises or guarantees regarding income. The success or failure of each LifeWave brand partner, like any other business, depends on your skills and personal effort. You should not rely on the results of other LifeWave brand partners as an indicator of what you will earn. In this business, as in anything in life, what you put in is in direct proportion to what you're going to get out. People have the patience to dedicate 3 years. People don't have the patience to dedicate 3 years to building their own business, but they have the patience to work for others for 40 years. This is your movement. This is time for you to make a change in your life. Whether you've been in the industry or not, LifeWave will complement what you're currently doing. You can build your LifeWave business part-time or in your own time. Give it 4 years. The time is going to pass anyway. Treat this like a business and you'll get paid over and over and over again. And this can completely change the trajectory of your life. So there you go. That is the end of the presentation. I hope that you have learned something from tonight's presentation. I absolutely love this part. This is about transforming people's lives, making a difference in people's lives, both in their health and in their wealth. So before we finish the call tonight, I've got a surprise. We have got Carol. I'm going to ask her to unmute. Carol from Mossel Bay in South Africa. I'm just going to make a spotlight here. There we go. Spotlight Carol. There's Carol. There we go.
Hi, Chris. Hi, everybody.
There we go. How are you doing?
Fine and you, Chris. Good to see you again.
Awesome. You also.
So I just want to say I'm from Grootbrak. Mossel Bay is about 20 minutes from me. So we are in between George and Mossel Bay. So anyway, it's lovely to see you again, Chris. And
you also.
What a lovely presentation. I'm also fired up, you know, I learn something every single time I get onto a Zoom. It's so amazing. I must say, I don't know all the little ins and outs about the compensation plan. All I know is, and I like what you said earlier, is what you put in is what you will get out. And I really, really experience that. Is if I work hard, I get compensated, which is just so rewarding. I was part of another direct marketing company for about 5 years. Fantastic products, Brilliant products. In fact, they really helped me with my health journey because I embarked on a natural health journey five years ago, being diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and fibromyalgia. So those products really did help. And I was so excited about the products that I shared it with absolutely everybody. Everybody heard about them. And you worked really hard. But what was very disheartening for me was you would sign somebody up, you would get them to order, and it was when you go back to them, they found another product similar, not half the price, less than half the price. So people would say, no, I found it in Clicks. No, I found one there. I found one there. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. So it was very disheartening. Whereas with LifeWave, first of all, the product is absolutely amazing. Just, it was for me, like my upline L'Oreal said, it was like the part of the puzzle was LifeWave, the patch, to complete the natural health journey. It's just that completion of it. I don't want to say it's next level because that's such a cliche, but it is. The product is just fantastic. It works. You don't have to sell the product; it sells itself. And I think for me is that there's no competition. They can't get it anywhere else. This product is it's unique. There's nowhere else that you can get it. And also then the support that you get, that I get from uplines, that we get just across, even cross lines. Everybody helps everybody. The whole company is just one of integrity, and that goes right up to. It comes from David Schmidt. Once I listened to his talks and his interviews, that is actually what got me hooked in the first place. It's just his integrity, his honesty, and that for me was just amazing. The product then obviously does its job. So, and of course, to see the money coming in all the time, it's like, what? Really? It's so fantastic because it's motivating, it's so motivating. And it's such a pleasure and just such a joy to be part of Lifeway. So thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for what you and Chris and you and Lucinda do for us. We really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for coming on short notice. I put you on the spot there. Absolutely amazing. Thank you. Thank you. So where did I get the idea of getting Carol on? Because when we met about a month ago, she was telling me the story of how hard she worked in a previous company. And it was just this constant up against competition all the time. Because like I said earlier, there's a lot of good companies out there, but you're always competing. Where LifeWave is, like I said, in a league of its own. I don't think we realize, guys, it's actually a gift. The gift of no competition. When that sinks in, trust me, you will have LifeWave insomnia and you'll have insomnia from excitement because you'll realize that we have something that is so different and unique. So with that LifeWave insomnia, thank goodness we have a patch for that. So it's all right. And then part where we talk about the income, since we've been part of LifeWave for 3.5 years, the money comes in on a Tuesday evening. The message basically came through about 14 minutes ago. There we go. Like clockwork. Every single week coming into your bank account. Guys, in the normal world, we're used to earning 12 times a year. At LifeWave, you can earn 52 times a year. 52 times. You know what a difference that makes? So, guys, all I can tell you is we're in the right place at the right time, the right company, right product, right leadership, write everything. So get back to the person who invited you onto the call this evening and tell them what part you enjoyed most. And we look forward to walking on this exciting LifeWave journey together with you. So from my side, I hope you got something out of tonight's call, even if you just got one thing out of tonight's call that can make a difference in your life. I've done my job this evening. I was a little bit jumpy because I amended a couple of the slides. So as the slides came, I was going, "Ah." So if I got tongue-tied, don't worry, next time it'll flow beautifully. But I hope the message came through. So guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. Looking forward to seeing you all soon. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Good night, everybody. Bye, guys. Don, my brother. Hey, so good to see you. MC, don't forget to send me your bio before the end of tonight. Need your bio. Got to get it to Lucinda. And if you've got a nice photo you want to send, I've got a photo too, but if you want a nice photo, send it to me. Okay, guys, enjoy. See you soon. Bye.